Did you know that a single paperwork error can leave a multi-ton container stranded at a port for weeks, racking up thousands of dollars in fees? And when you consider that most international shipments require a stack of at least 5 different documents to even think about moving, the chances for error are huge. The world of sea freight is really built on 2 critical paths: the physical journey of your cargo and the invisible flow of documents that guides it. If they fall out of sync, your shipment fails. Today we're going to demystify this entire process. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, comprehensive understanding of both of these flows and exactly how they have to work together for a successful shipment. If you're new to logistics, the whole process can seem impossibly complex, but it's really just a series of logical steps. The best way to think about it is as 2 parallel stories unfolding at the same time. The first story is about your cargo, a container full of goods physically making its way across the ocean. The second is about the data and documents, the paper trail that gives your cargo the legal permission to move. Let's start with the physical journey. For this guide, we'll focus on a standard FCL or full container load shipment. The physical cargo flow. From factory to final mile, the journey begins long before the ship even leaves the port. First up is booking and cargo collection. After you, the shipper, book space on a vessel through your freight forwarder, a truck is sent to the factory or warehouse. It drops off an empty container, your goods are loaded up, and it's sealed. Next, that sealed container is trucked to the port of origin, where it faces its first major checkpoint, export customs clearance. This is where authorities check that your goods comply with all the rules before they're allowed to leave the country. Once you're cleared, the container is moved inside the port and is officially in the carrier's hands. This leads to the fun part, container loading. You'll see those giant port cranes lift your container and stack it securely on the vessel, like a giant game of Tetris. Then comes the longest part of the journey, the sea transport. The vessel travels across the ocean, which can take anywhere from a few days to several weeks, all depending on the route. When the ship arrives at the destination port, the whole process basically reverses. The container is unloaded and now faces import customs clearance. This is a super critical step where officials in the destination country inspect the paperwork to calculate duties and taxes and make sure you're following their local laws. Finally, after all duties are paid and clearance is granted, you've got the destination handling and delivery. The container is released from the port, loaded onto a truck, and delivered to its final destination to be unloaded. That's the physical journey. But remember, none of it can happen if the second flow isn't running perfectly alongside it. The documentation flow, the paper trail. The documentation is the invisible engine of the entire shipment. Every single step of the cargo's physical journey is authorized and validated by a specific document. It all starts with the booking confirmation, which officially reserves your space on the ship and gets the ball rolling. Then the shipper creates 2 of the most fundamental documents, the commercial invoice and the packing list. The invoice details the financial transaction and the value of the goods for customs. The packing list specifies exactly what's inside the container, how it's packed, and its weight and dimensions. Getting these 2 documents wrong is probably the #1 cause of customs delays. Now for what might be the single most important document in all of shipping, the Bill of Lading, or BL. Issued by the carrier, it serves 3 critical functions. It's a receipt for your goods, it's evidence of the contract for the shipment, and most importantly, it's the document of title to the goods. This means whoever holds the original Bill of Lading literally owns the cargo. Think of it as the golden ticket. Without it, the consignee cannot claim their container. For customs, you'll also need export and import declarations. These are the formal official documents required to legally move goods out of one country and into another, often accompanied by a certificate of origin to prove where the goods were made. Where the flows collide, aligning cargo and documents. This is where the magic happens, or where it all falls apart. The cargo and document flows have to intersect at exactly the right moments. Any mistake in the document flow will bring the physical flow to a grinding halt. Picture this: your container arrives at the port, but the customs declaration has the wrong HS code. Your cargo is immediately flagged and held for inspection. The clock starts ticking, and you're now incurring storage fees known as demurrage every single day. Or let's say the ship docks, but the original bill of lading hasn't arrived to the consignee yet. The container gets unloaded, but it cannot be released from the port. Your cargo is now a very expensive, very stationary metal box. The physical flow has stopped completely, all because of a paperwork delay. So, the logistics flow in a sea shipment is a carefully choreographed dance between the container and its paperwork. The physical cargo flow from the factory loading dock to the final delivery is the journey you can see. But the documentation flow from the booking confirmation and bill of lading to those critical customs declarations is the invisible force that makes it all possible. Understanding these two parallel paths, and more importantly, how they must align perfectly, is the absolute key to avoiding costly errors and ensuring a smooth, efficient shipment from start to finish. Getting this right isn't just about avoiding delays, it's about mastering the art of global trade. If you work in logistics or international trade, you know that getting this process right is fundamental. We'll be breaking down even more complex logistics topics in future videos, so if you found this guide helpful, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next upload. Do you have any questions about the cargo or document flow? Drop them in the comments below. Let's talk about it.